All right, this section we're going to deal with geometric sequences. So here's an example. Here, if we look for the pattern, we're going to be multiplying by 3 here, multiplying by 3 here, and the next one we're going to be multiplying by 3 also. So if you're multiplying or dividing by the same number, this is a geometric sequence. And this number here that we're multiplying or dividing by, this is called a common ratio. So here's your formula for geometric sequence, a to the n, a1, r, n minus 1. Okay, so the way that you read this to find any number, let's say we're trying to find the 36 here. We need the first number. Our common ratio here is 3. And between the third and the first term, we have 2 spaces. So we're going to do 3 squared here, which is 3 times 3. We've got 9. 9 times 4. It's going to give you 36 here for your A3 here, third term. Okay, so this is how many spaces. This is how many times your common difference. So how many times you're going to multiply the common difference, and then times whatever your first number is that starts it. Okay, let's go. So if we had this example, our formula for this one, our general formula, it's going to ask you in your homework, is A1 is 4 here, R is 3, and we have n minus 1 here depending on what n we're going to use here. So 4 times 3 to the n minus 1. So let's say in the homework it's asking you for the 7th term. You would have a to the 7th equals 4 times 3. Between the 7th term and the first term, we have 6. We're going to punch that into your calculator. We got 4 times 3 to the 6th. I don't know what that is. That's 729 times 4, and we get 2916. Sometimes these numbers are going to get big. All right. Let's do a different example. All right, let's say we have an example like this. And here I can't figure out what R is, right? The other one I can see easily. I knew it was times 3, but this one is a little bit harder to figure out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use, and let's say we want to try to find the 5th term. Well, to find the 5th term, the first thing we need to know always is what's our common ratio. So let's use the formula to find the common ratio. So we got a to the n equals a1 rn minus 1. So I'm gonna just use these first 2 terms here, right? Because those are the easiest. A to the n. So the second term we're gonna use, this is 36. The first term is 54. I want to figure out what this common ratio, and I know there's only one space between this, so we're just gonna have r to the 1. Right? Then I'm gonna divide. Now we just have a one-step equation. I can divide by 54. And we get r is 36 over 54. And we know we can simplify that by 9. Is that right? That becomes 4 over 6. And then we can simplify that more, so that becomes 2 over 3. So my r in this case is going to be 2 over 3. Okay. So now let's say we want the 5th term. So we're going to write our equation now as a to the n equals 54 times 2 over 3 to the n minus 1. Okay, we're going to plug in our numbers here. 54, 2 over 3. I want the 5th term, so that means there's 4 spaces here. And I'm going to use my calculator. Okay, so I'm going to use my calculator. I'm running out of time, so we got 54 times 16 over 81 equals, so we got, this one's going to end up as a fraction, 32 over 3. So again, find the ratio, use the formula if you can't figure it out. And then once you have your formula, you can plug it into your equation to find any term. And sometimes you'll have a fraction as your answer.